Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you for this next Judas Priest album review tonight. I hope you will enjoy this next Judas Priest album review for Demolition, the 14th studio album that I got a chance to listen to for myself for this 70-minute and 45-second record. See what I was going to think of this record overall. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 13 tracks on this record and let you know my thoughts on Judas Priest Demolition. So let's dive into this album review. So pretty much it starts with Machine Man, and it's just, this song sucked, honestly. It was a very bad, disappointing opening track, and I wasn't feeling for Tim Ripper Owens singing in this track. It didn't mesh well with the track, and it just was overproduced with his vocals. So this is a 2 out of 5. One on One is another bad song. I'm just not feeling for how it's sounding. Instrumentally, this record's solid, but the problem with this record is how it's sounding overall. It's sounding angsty and cheesy, and it just doesn't do very well. So, One on One is another bad track. Tim Ripper Owens tried doing screaming vocals with this track, and it was an eye roller, and it was like, fuck this, honestly. Like, for real. That's why I gave the middle finger. I was like, oh my god, fuck this. This song's bad. 1.5 out of 5. Then Hell is Home is the next track, and it's another bad song that I can't really get on board with. I just wasn't feeling for how it was executing overall, and just the way Tim Ripper Owens was singing this track, it just didn't suit well with how he was singing it, and execution wise, this track flopped. So 1.75 out of 5. It's a little better than the last track, but still a bad track. Jekyll and Hyde is another bad track that I can't get on board with. It sounds cringy, cheesy, and angsty, and just all over. It's over the top, this track, with how Tim Ripper Owens is singing it. And I'm just not vibing with this song at all. So, another 1.5 out of 5. It's bad. Close to You is another bad track that I'm just not a fan of. It's just a little bit of a step up, but it's still a disappointing song. So, it's like, nah. They flopped with this one, too. So, I was very disheartened that I'm having to give it a 2.75 out of 5 because it tried with the instrumentation. But the problem is Tim Ripper Owens sounding cheesy and angsty and aggressive with his vocals, and it's coming off really corny. So 2.75 out of 5. Devil Digger is another bad track that I'm just not a fan of. I was really not vibing with how the song was sounding overall with Tim Ripper Owens' singing. And just execution wise, it was a flop. So, like, instrumentally it's okay, but it's not great. It tried something new, but it just failed. So 2.5 out of 5. Bloodsuckers is very corny of a track. I did not like this song at all. This one's a 2.25 out of 5 for this one. I was really not feeling for how Tim Ripper Owens was singing it. It was a very corny ass song, and it can suck it, honestly, because this song sucks. So, yeah, it's just the way it's sounding with the aggressive and heavy metal stuff. It sounded really cheesy and like, oh, I'm badass. I'm gonna make fucking great music, yeah. Music to get you pumped up and punching people in the face kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, no. This sounds like cheesiness, honestly, and corniness. So, yeah, I'm only saying that in context to sound edgy, because that's how it sounds. It sounds edgy and too much in your face kind of bullshit that is just horseshit. So, yeah. Bloodsuckers 2.25 out of 5. Then we get to In Between, another bad song I'm not on board with, and I was just very disappointed with this track. It was not for me. It was not my kind of vibe of a song, and I wasn't feeling for the melody. Tim Ripper Owens is singing. Guitar-wise and drum-wise was okay, but everything else about it sucked. Those are the only aspects that I can really appreciate. Is the instrumentation is solid with the Tim Ripper Owens era, but it's not great. So 2.5 out of 5. Feed on Me is another bad song I'm just not feeling for. I wish I could have liked this, but I was not feeling it. It's the way Tim Ripper Owens is singing this track. It comes off corny and edgy, and it just sucked, honestly. So, yeah, Feed on Me is a 2.5 out of 5. Subterfuge, another bad song I wasn't vibing with how the melody was sounding structurally, and just Tim Ripper Owens was singing it pretty terribly, honestly, studio version wise, and it just an eye roller, honestly. So this is a 2.5 out of 5. Lost and Found is another disappointing track that I'm just not feeling for too as well. I was hoping not to give hate on this record too much, but it's probably one of the worst Judas Priest records in their discography. So, yeah, it's Demolition is crap, honestly. So, 2.75 out of 5 for Lost and Found. I just hated this song. Hated it, honestly. Cyberface is very corny and cringy. It sounds too overproduced, over the top, with the electronic vocals from Tim Ripper Owens, and I'm just not connecting with this song at all. It is crap. It is overproduced crap. So, 2 out of 5 for this one. And finally, we get to the closing track, Metal Messiah, which I'm going to be honest, for almost 71 minutes, this was kind of a waste of time of a record, but I still had to listen to it because it's in the Judas Priest discography. I hear when Rob Halford comes back, it sounds a little better, but there are a few hit or miss records that some people may like, some people may not, but it just, through the whole discography of Judas Priest that I've listened to, it's quite a discography for sure. But other than that, Metal Messiah is a bad song, and it's a 2.5 out of 5. So overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think this record was hot garbage. It is the worst in the Judas Priest discography. It's worse than Ram It Down, I can tell you that much. And that's not good. Yeah, so Ram It Down is still a bad record, but there's one issue I had with this record, that it sucked, and it's cringe, it's edgy, it plays it too safe, and the songs sound corny as hell, and all in your face, like, ooh, kind of shit, like, let's get pumped up, kind of shit. It's just cringy edginess, honestly. They tried something that, with their new aggressive kind of sound, with their melodies and all that, and majority-wise, the instrumentation was okay and kind of meh, but with how Tim Ripper Owens was singing the tracks, he was not Rob Halford. He was trying to copy that, and I didn't like that shit. So it's like, dude, find your own voice. I mean, he finds his own voice in KK Priest from what I hear, but from what I listen to is Demolition, it's a mess of a record. So if I were to give the 14th studio album from Judas Priest's discography, Demolition, a score, it's a 2.5 out of 10 for me. It sucked ass. It can literally just eat shit and die, this record. It's crap, honestly. I was really hoping to find something out of this record I'd like, there was a few good things about Jugulator. It wasn't as bad as this one. This is the worst. And it's the last worst record with Tim Ripper Owens in it. And then I hear they get a little better as they progress through their later discography, Judas Priest. So at least that's good. But other than that, I wasn't a fan of the Tim Ripper Owens era. I was trying to like some moments of it, but it was okay with his singing, but the Tim Ripper Owens era kind of sucked, in my opinion. So, kinda sucked. It was kind of like a 2.75 out of 10 kind of rating, or 5.75 out of 10 rating for, to recorrect my rating. In their discography and all that. I just think the Tim Ripper Owens era was disappointing. So, yeah. 2.5 out of 10 for Judas Priest Demolition. The next album review is Angels of Retribution, I believe, is the next album, where Rob Halford returns to Judas Priest as the lead singer the rest of the way. And then I should be done. I should review KK Priest after the Judas Priest discography is done. I will be re-reviewing Invincible Shield too. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this Judas Priest Demolition album review tonight. And the next album review will be tomorrow or probably Saturday. But until then, thanks for watching this review tonight. Have a good night.